Alright, so who remembers the Herculoids? And they're a classic cartoon show created by Hanna-Barbera that premiered in 1967 all the way to 1969. Not long, but something that has a nostalgic memory for many viewers like myself. Now, this show had a really simple and amazing story where Xandor, who is kind of like the main character, kind of like the Tarzan-esque character, and his wife Tara, along with their son, were simply just trying to protect themselves and their peace. Now, you might wonder and say, protect from who? Well, any kind of invasion, any kind of villains, or anything that basically threatened their peace. Now, the cool thing is that they weren't alone. They were accompanied by these amazing animals from the planet, and their names are Zoc, Gloop and Gleep, Igu, and Tundro. Now, for me, this was one of my all-time favorite cartoons, and these characters kind of had like a Justice League-esque type of feeling, but they were with animal companions. Now, all of these animals also have their powers and abilities. So, what I'm going to do is try to make a comparative analysis detailing their powers and also using the physics in the real world to kind of showcase their feats. Now, all of the math won't be 100% correct, but it's going to be pretty darn close. So let's get started. Now, I forgot, before we get into the animals' abilities, we do have Tara and Xandar, who do have limited forms of telepathic communication, which allow them to coordinate a whole lot better in the midst of battle. And not to mention their son, too, is pretty skilled along the way in not just coordinating himself with the animals, but also leading them in a battle. All right, so let's start off with Tundro. Now, Tundro is a character who is very akin to a Triceratops and also a rhino, and this provides him with high levels of durability and high levels of speed as well. Not to mention, he can shoot out pellets from his horn that make sudden explosions upon impact. Now, Tundra also has this really high level charge attack, which propels him at speeds at about 18.6 miles per hour. Now, going by his estimated size and also speed, he is generating enough force that is the equivalent of 11,000 pounds upon impact. Now, Gloop and Gleep can shapeshift and they can morph into a myriad of different things. Now, this has been showcased as a barrier, as a bridge, and so many different others. Now, for the most part, in terms of their feats, they have just provided some form of defense or transitional phase for the rest of the Herculoids that include like a bridge or something of that nature. So, in terms of what they're really good at is just providing some kind of protection for the rest of the team and also overcoming trials and tribulations that might come in the form of getting from location A to location B and then so on. Now let's talk about Igloo, one of my favorite characters. Now he can provide really powerful attacks. He has high levels of durability and just overall is just strong in general. For me, he's like the rock version of King Khan. Now, Igu has the ability to have enough output force that is the equivalent of about 50,000 newtons, or about 11,240 pounds of force. This is about akin to a heavy industrial press, like really strong. But that's not all. We also have Zoc. Now, for Zoc, in terms of his physiology, he has the ability to fly at really high speeds, but he can shoot powerful energy blasts from his eyes and also from his tail. Now, Zoc's energy blast has an output of about 100 megajoules, which is enough to vaporize anything within a 10 feet radius. Well, not anything, most solid objects. I got too hyped. Now, if we look at all of the Herculoids, including the humanoid based characters, they have survived corrosive acid rain, which has a pH at about 1.5 equivalent. Now, looking at all of this, we can tell that the Herculoids are pretty powerful in general, including the humanoid based characters. The reason why I'm saying humanoid is because we can see that they're human, but they survive on an Earth that's a little bit more, for lack of better words, stronger. But yeah, let me know what you think about the Herculoids and also this breakdown. Are there some abilities that I did forget to mention? Other feats that I forgot to mention? But what other characters from Hanna-Barbera do you want me to cover next? Later, everyone. Don't forget to comment, drop those hearts like OD.